Alright, I have a confession to make. There are a lot of kids in my basement. They're all tied up just like this, and they are the 91% of people who are not subscribed. So unless you want to be tied up in Sacred Bricks' lovely basement, subscribe. Okay, today it's time for another Star Wars video, so I'm going to be building Corvus from The Mandalorian in LEGO, specifically the scene where Ashoka and The Mandalorian try and take back the city from Imperial rule. I'm also going to be giving you guys a challenge. Baby Yoda or... Actually, no, never call Baby Yoda Grogu, okay? That's a horrible name. Baby Yoda will be hidden somewhere in this video, and if you can find him and comment down below the timestamp of where he is, I will heart your comment and you will become a true broski that gets lots of women. That's a fact. Alright, so I started off building the freeform and the terrain around the build. I used dark tan with bits of dark brown because it's a pretty uncommon color to see in builds, and makes the build pop a lot more. I even included some illegal building techniques here and there because I ain't scared of no FBI. They've tried to raid my basement before to feed the kids, but there's just way too much Lego on the floor for them to even reach the stairs intact. Then I started to work on the first house. I decided to go with primarily dark gray, and I made it super detailed and used some awesome techniques to give off that old worn down vibe. I'm not gonna go too into detail because I've used this type of wall a bunch of times before. I especially love the door though because of those pipes that I used to outline it. I also included a chain on the back of the build because I had an extra one lying around from tying up some people. But if you're wondering what the interior is, I actually made a dedicated space caging all the 9-year-old sweaty Fortnite gamers. And of course I did include a window though, I'm not that cruel. I can open the window and chug some slurp juices in there, and to make sure the 9-year-olds won't start cranking 90s and escape, I also included a roof with some pretty cool looking textures. From there, I started to work on another building on the opposite side, but in light bluish gray. I used the same wall and door building style since they are of course part of the same city. I also did trickle in some dark brown pieces to make it seem more natural, and for the interior, I included a stockpile of weapons that me and the boys used to get free Taco Bell, and then I made a roof that angles down using some hinges, as well as just some ingots on the roof to texture the top of it. After that, I started to add some more side details in the terrain, like some crates with more weapons and machine parts, as well as one of these tall gray things that for some reason are in every Star Wars city, so I included one. And then came one of my favorite parts of the build, other than stuffing Fortnite kids in the cage, which was the stone path. I decided to just illegally place some round light gray pieces, both right side up and upside down, which definitely helps with adding the worn down detailed effect, and acts as one of the most eye-catching parts of this build. The only issue is that they aren't stuck on, so they are a little fragile, so you don't want to flip this bad boy upside down. After that, I started making the back wall with the gate that goes to the garden area where the Magistrate lives. I really don't like the Magistrate, she's just so annoying and sassy in the show. I mean, just screw the Magistrate. And I started to desperately run out of pieces, so I couldn't make it as detailed and have the same level of texture that I encapsulated in the other structures, but it was still really fun to build and turned out looking very accurate to the reference. Then I started to finish off all the landscaping. I really liked the ratio of studs to tiles to slopes in the terrain, and I also included these really cool looking cracks using some wedge plates, and of course I had to build some rock work for you guys because I know I haven't done any in a while, and it always turns out looking sick. Okay, now came my favorite part, which was to build the torture poles. Boys, seriously subscribe because these look like they really hurt and I would not want to end up in one of them. Now to add some final touches to the build, I of course had to add some minifigures to represent the scene in its entirety. The Ashoka and Mandalorian figures were actually sent to me for this video by Firestar Toys. If you want to pick these up or any of the other figures on their site, be sure to use code SACRED15 for 15% off. Their site and these figures will be linked down below, and thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Alright gamers, it is now time for the final showcase of the finished mock of Corvus from The Mandalorian. As you can see, this is just flooded with the detail from the super intricate walls, the very natural terrain which even has some super detailed micro cracks, that awesome looking cobblestone path, and of course, the iconic, breathtaking torture poles. And I love all the little details I included, and overall, this build definitely pays respect in 69 different languages to the show, and it's just a super accurate encapsulation of the scene. But anyways, I'm kinda hungry for some kills in Minecraft right now, so subscribe, and also go check out the Brick Wiz, because this mock is actually for his mock contest that I plan on winning. I'm just kidding, but go check him out, he makes some lit content, and see you guys later.